What's good, everybody?
Ball
Well,
game.
I'm back. We're back here with Shonen Hoops, and I have returned after my little bit of hiatus that I had to go do with some personal stuff. I'm back, and obviously, with me coming back, if you don't know who I am, I'm Andy with my co-host Omar.
Yes, how we feeling? How we feeling? We back. The duo is back.
Yep, and obviously now that we've returned, we gotta talk about important stuff, which is hot dog shit that is in the East.
Yep.
So just to let everybody know, we're gonna do a little part series here, which is basically we're gonna talk about how the bad teams in the East, the good teams in the East, bad teams in the West, and then the good teams in the West. So it'll be 4 different videos. So make sure to stay tuned because we're back on it. We're on top of this again.
Yep. It's not necessarily what teams are bad, just like the three more most disappointing teams thus far,
Yeah.
because I don't foresee a lot of movement towards the end of the year.
Mhm.
From here and down to I think it's pretty much set. The three biggest disappointments and the three biggest surprises. And when you get closer to playoff time, we're not necessarily going to want to talk about teams that didn't make it. More so, what we think predictions for the playoffs, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So why not do it now?
Yep. All right, Omar. So I will give you the opportunity to say who you think. You can name your first disappointment.
All right, yeah. I want to talk
East.
about how right I was about the damn Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, I'll give it to you, bro. You had that on lock.
The moment Paul George chose them over us, I was like, you know what? You're leaving Kawhi for a center version of Kawhi, and Joel Embiid did not stay healthy. But to be honest, past that, I didn't expect Jared McCain. He was a bright spot to start the year, and unfortunately, also out for the year. Paul George has been in and out of the lineup. Tyrese Maxey has been in and out of the lineup, and now they suck.
Yeah, it's such a shame because I want to be honest. I feel like Joel Embiid's career may be coming to an end just because of the injuries, and it sucks because well, you called it. You said like Paul George is if he wants to play with like a healthy team, that's not what he's getting. He's not going to a championship contender in Philadelphia. Sad to say, and they got rid of with injuries. Like you said, their rookie that was showing really good got injured. Tyrese Maxey's been hurting his back, and I think he's going to be out for probably. They're probably going to shut him down relatively soon to not risk losing more than what they give. But Philadelphia. But the thing is, right? For you, was Philadelphia technically wasn't a disappointment. They just proved what you thought.
Yeah, but it's still disappointing because you have this championship roster you brought over from France. Um, oh my God, the dude from France.
I
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Yabusele, goalie. Yabusele. They brought Yabusele over from overseas. He was great this year. So, and it's like all these moving parts from different points of the year have been great. But not only is this season a disappointment, the risk in bringing Paul George was that these first 2 years were the years you're going to compete because Paul George is dealing with his own injuries. And towards the back of his contract, he was going to be older, regressing, and it's going to look even worse. And B's not going to be healthy probably to start the year next year because he's finally going to have a surgery. He's going to miss a lot of time to ramp up. And we're going to do, I believe, the same song and dance next year. So I think this Paul George contract is going to be a failure. You're not going to be able to move it, not get anywhere near enough value. If you're Philadelphia, you have to think about blowing it up completely.
I agree completely. I think Philly's gonna focus too much on how Tyrese Maxey is gonna be their new star. That's gonna be the new process.
That's fine, but why not build around Tyrese Maxey and McCain?
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I don't think they. Who knows? I don't think they're gonna commit. They're gonna, I think, in the end, be another team that just likes to be in the middle. But I do think this is a shocker for them to be like, we're not even in the play-ins because of how atrocious things have been going for them. So they are so far. I don't know. Would you? I guess out of the top disappointing, are they number one or are they more number three?
For me, considering where I expect the teams, because I'm not gonna. Normally, I don't kill teams due to injuries. I usually don't do that. Mm-hmm. But in this situation, Philly built towards injuries. Like they did this to themselves. Like Atlanta, I'm not gonna have Atlanta, even though I expected them to be better, because Jalen Johnson missed time, a lot of time. Trae Young missed time, So I'm not going to hold that against Atlanta. I'm not going to hold what's happening to Orlando to them because injuries out the ass. Jalen Suggs out for the year. Mo Wagner was out for the year. Suggs, Franz, and P only played 6 games together. So,
Okay.
I mean, I guess it would be. I think I'll put them third because it's due to injuries, but it's still very disappointing that they decided to build the team this way, and this is the outcome.
Okay. All right. That's very fair. Honestly, I'm agreeing with you though, with Philly being one of the top 3. I'd also agree that they're 3 just because it wasn't that. It wasn't like that they all got to play at the same time and they just didn't do what they should have done. It was pure just like injuries. But it was injuries that everybody foresaw. So I guess I think that's a disappointment. It's more of a disappointment in like the actual management being like, yeah, let's take this risk. Like,
and if you knew this was the case, why not punt this year to start the year? Why did you drag it until now?
Yeah.
To finally shut Embiid down. And it's like, this is going to be the same story for the next 3 years after this season.
Yeah, that's why I freaking knock on wood. Hopefully this surgery works, but I can see his career ending sooner than later, just because of his play style. Yeah, and it's pure unfortunate, but it's the play style he does, and it's just like, I don't know. Injuries are so freak that you can never really know when it's gonna happen or what could happen to people. I mean, like we just saw yesterday, Kyrie ended career ending. That's gonna be another video. But as you know, obviously prayers to him. Hopefully he'll be perfectly fine and he can be back healthy. But freak injuries can happen at any point. So hopefully Embiid can hopefully the surgery works for him, because we want to see great players be great. But as of right now, Philadelphia, the management and everybody around them has been a very disappointing just everything for the fans, and they're just gonna have to stick through it again and go back to being the process, because this process has been on hold for too long.
Yeah, unfortunate. All right, so I'm gonna let you, since we know shit that Philadelphia's part of our 3. Yeah. I will say, who's your second team?
So I'm gonna be honest. Which my second team, when I'm looking at it, I thought the Hornets were going to be better.
They're also part of my 3.
Yeah. The Hornets are such an atrocity, and it's so disappointing, because it's even to the point where it's like they have the young core. This is the core that should be gaining experience or getting better with every year that comes. LaMelo Ball, he comes back from injury, but he's been playing this season. Maybe he misses a game or 2, but he's playing. I feel like more often where he needs to.
Brendan Miller was out for the year for a long time.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Well, Brendan Miller, I think, got injured in December, right?
But even then, we knew what.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just because of the injuries, we saw what their potential was as a full squad, and it still wasn't doing what they needed to do.
And I just don't get it at this point. Like, how long are the Hornets going to be at the bottom? You have LaMelo, and then it leads to the question: can LaMelo Ball be the best player on a team that's going to start to rise? Because I watch Hornets games here and there to prep for this, and it's like the attention to detail on defense isn't there. But at this point of the season, who can blame them? But it's like, it seems like very like unorganized ball to the point.
Yeah.
And they had the Mark Williams situation. I like Mark Williams a lot, but he has trouble staying healthy.
Yeah.
Miles Bridges has been up and down this year. But at a certain point, like, the Charlotte Hornets have to figure it out. They have to start building up at some point.
I mean, yeah, and I don't know if you're not wrong. Where LaMelo it's starting to look more and more that LaMelo can't be the number 1 guy, or it's just that his style of basketball doesn't fit too well with like how the NBA goes, if that makes sense. Like it's I don't know.
And I feel crazy saying that, because we see his offensive talent, his passing ability, his shooting ability, scoring at will. But then I hear him being in trade rumors for us, and I'm like, I don't know if I want LaMelo over here. I don't know if he can play off the ball. I don't know if he'll buy in defensively, buy in doing this, that, or the other. And that shouldn't be a case for a great player.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And it's just surprising because they, you know, when you think of the Charlotte Hornets, you're like, wow, like when they're healthy, obviously, you're like, okay, this is a very strong offensive team. But you've been the man of always saying where like defense is gonna be way better than an offense, and I feel like the Charlotte Hornets are the biggest example of like you could be offensively great and have all the tools, but if you're not willing to stop shots and defend, then you're gonna be bottom two of the league.
Because they've been awful for the better part of the decade, and you look across the league, the Portland Trailblazers have looked extremely improved this year, especially
Yes.
in recent stretches of games. Across Detroit took a step this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is Washington's like first year officially being bad, so I'm not too worried about them. But it's like,
Yeah,
dog,
yeah,
Brooklyn has been trying to lose all year,
yeah,
and they look better than y'all.
yeah, that's true. So, I don't know, Charlotte. I don't know. They don't know if it's they need new owners, new management, new something, but they have been stuck there for too damn long at the bottom. So I guess since we have the same 3-2, what's your one? Because it'll probably be the same.
The Chicago Bulls.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Can I
For
know
me,
why?
Yes, for me, it's more of a directional point. I don't understand why it's taking so long to tear the team apart. I don't understand why Nikola Vucevic is still on this roster.
Okay.
You have to make it this whether or not you want to move Kobe White. Kobe White was in trade rumors. Kobe White's on a great deal, only getting paid $12 a year annually. Kobe White is a terrific shooter. I don't know if he's part of the. You re-signed Lonzo Ball. You have like 5 point guards that started damn near the other day. Josh Giddey, is Josh Giddey part of your future? I don't know who is part of the Bulls' future moving forward, and that's the problem. Why is it taking so long to tear down this damn franchise? Why am I hearing it's a successful year for the Chicago Bulls if they're in the play-in tournament? Why is this still part of the process with the Bulls?
Yeah.
And that's why they're so disappointing, is because they still haven't finished blowing up this damn team.
Yeah, no, you're right, and it's like I don't even know how they're happy because they're still in the same place they were last year, which was 10th, and then they get booted by the Atlanta Hawks, and then the Atlanta Hawks get booted. Like it's actually been the same song and dance for the Chicago Bulls for the past 3 years. They have always made it to the play-ins and then get instantly blown out by the ninth team or whatever team it is. And it's fascinating, and because I think it's always the Atlanta Hawks. If I'm gonna be so honest with you, anybody can fact check me. But I know for like 2/3 of those games, the Atlanta Hawks always sends them home. It's the Chicago Bulls. They're such an interesting team because, like you said, they want to pull the trigger, and they basically they've pulled the trigger once, and now they just don't want to keep shooting. Like they don't want to commit to being like, all right, we need a tank like that, and I don't. That's not here or there, bro. Like Chicago, they are actually the definition of being okay, being mediocre, like mediocre completely.
Yeah, because outside of like, I'm assuming Ayu Dosunmu and Matas Bucelis, who else is part of this core? Are you sure Josh Giddey, Lonzo? Is Patrick Williams even at this point part of your future? I'm not sure. You extended him. But I don't know what the future holds for the Bulls, and that's frustrating because you don't. If the worst position to be in NBA is mediocrity, that is NBA hell. There's no ceiling for this Bulls team. You peaked. The Bulls peaked with this current roster, and they're not tearing it down.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, my number one though is a little different. See, so to begin off. Obviously, like we said, freak injuries is kind of like it's not. You can't really blame a team for that. But I feel like for me, the Toronto Raptors have been a big disappointment for me personally. Because I believe they have good players enough to make it into the play-ins, but they're out here struggling at 13th with damn near only 20 wins. And obviously Scotty Barnes was injured for like a portion of that, and then if not Scotty Barnes, it was any other player in the Toronto Raptors. But even I feel like when they're healthy, they're not they aren't seen as a threat, and I don't understand why. Because I feel like they have the potential players.
I'll let you know right now. They traded for Brandon Ingram, and right now they're playing capture the flag. You listen. I watched this recent game when Orlando played them. Not the one with the Franz missed layup. The one they just beat Orlando because they beat Orlando back to back.
Okay.
The Raptors tried so hard to lose that game. Quickly was on the bench. RJ Barrett was on the bench. Scotty Barnes was on the bench, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they found a way to win. And at this point, if I'm not mad at Toronto. Toronto added a piece at the trade deadline, Brandon Ingram for long term.
Mm-hmm.
He's been out, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. I think he is still out.
All right, exactly. So Brandon Ingram's been out. So we're looking at Ingram next year. So potentially you're adding a top 5 pick plus Brandon Ingram to this team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too mad at the direction Toronto's going. I think Toronto did it right.
Okay. So you think instead of trying to go in for this season, they're saving their energy for the next.
For what?
Okay. I guess at this point. I mean, they're only
to get blasted by Boston or Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right. Okay, that's valid. Still, for me personally, this season was a disappointment. We're not talking about the future as of right now. But you're right in the sense of they did get a good player, but I felt like they could have done more than where they're at right now.
I feel like to me, it's just the context of why they played out this season for what it is, and I can't be too mad at it.
Okay. All right. Well, that is as of far. I think that's our most disappointing teams
out east. Yes,
out in the East.
Bad.
The East. It is. The East is so bad.
I mean, I promise. Next year, it won't be this bad. I promise it won't be. I think next year you're looking at Cleveland, Boston, New York, Milwaukee, Indiana, Detroit, Atlanta will be back. Orlando will be up there. Toronto will be more dangerous.
I mean, that's all we can hope for because
I'm not even counting Philly because who knows what Philly's going to be. But the East, more teams will be healthy again. Young teams will get better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to the East next year.
Yeah. But like I said, this is we are going to be talking about the best in the East later on. In case the video's out, I'll put it like right here somewhere. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like, share with your friends, comment, let us know what teams have disappointed you, whether it's been the Miami Heat losing Jimmy Butler and Golden State's been fucking fantastic, or Orlando Magic just suffering injuries, just comment, let us know what you guys think.
Peace.
But we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.